Top 6 tips to get a remote sales job with no experience. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the MoTechSales YouTube channel. My name is Maury. If you're new to this channel and you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. I talk about how to get a remote sales job and what you need to do in order to get your entry-level tech sales job or tech job in general. So in this video, I just want to go over 6 quick tips on how to get a remote sales job, like how I was able to without any experience. So before I get started, I actually want to show y'all a really good boot camp that I used in order to quickly get a remote tech sales position. This website is called Course Careers. Now, they do have a free starter course in the link down below. Be sure to check that out. But Course Careers is essentially an all-in-one platform that teaches you everything that you need to know in order to get an entry-level job in tech sales, information technology, data analytics, human resource, digital advertising, as well as software programming and software developing. So very, very good course to get started. Also, this course definitely was the reason why I was able to get a job, because they do have a graduate portal where they give you everything that you need in order to apply for jobs and stand out amongst the competition, as well as build your online presence. And they also show you how to properly answer questions during your interviews. Now, I made these videos as well on my YouTube channel, but Course Careers definitely goes more into depth, and they also have a certification, which you're going to see here. It's very important to have when you are looking to get an entry-level job in technology and you have no experience whatsoever. So I just wanted to show y'all that. Now let's go ahead and get back into the video. Okay, so I know when a lot of people hear remote sales job, lots of people feel as though they need to have some type of sales experience or some kind of experience in technology, and that's not the case. When I first got my first tech job, I was actually coming straight out of the restaurant industry, and I had to come up with a plan of how to actually know what I'm talking about in the job interviews, which I'm going to go into detail. But one thing you need to think of is your why. Why do you want to be in sales? I know whenever I first got started, my why was to, of course, make a lot of money, because any tech sales or any sales in general is just very, very lucrative. Not only that, I've always had a passion for helping people and helping people solve their problems and offering a solution that can solve their problems. And then the third reason is because sales jobs are in demand all the time. I remember being in school and one of my teachers would just tell me, hey, you should get into sales. Hey, I feel like you'll be good in sales, because she was able to see something in me that I couldn't see at that time. But now I'm glad that I do actually have a career in sales. So just something to think about, guys. You really have to really evaluate what your why is and why do you even want to be a part of sales. For some people, it's strictly money. There's tons of money to be made in sales, in tech sales, in real estate, really any type of sales job that you want. As long as you're generating the company money, you're going to be making money because you're a valuable asset. So really think about why do you even want to be in sales? Okay, so the first tip that I will say is take the initiative to do your research. So for me, when I started my journey in tech sales, for example, I would research all the companies that I wanted to work for and the reasons why I wanted to work for them. But not only that, I would research just their growth, what their mission statement is, where they're planning on going, how many offices that they had, where are those offices located in the world, where would I want to live, and is there companies there that I would want to work for, and then I will also look at the product or service that they're selling. Is it good? Would I want to support that? So really take time and think about what kind of companies that you want to work for, and write them down. When I was starting to apply for jobs, I had an A team and a B team, which simply consisted of my A team would have 20 companies I would want to work for. My B team was like the backup if my 18 companies didn't work out. The backup B team was about 20 companies. But the point I'm trying to make is really do your research about the companies. Why do you want to work for that company? What kind of products or service that they have? Who's the CEO? When the company was founded? What are the offices that they have? Because once you are able to actually land an interview with them, they're going to want to know the answers to those questions. Hey, why do you want to work for this company? Hey, how much do you know about the company? So the more prepared and the more invested you are, the more the employers are going to be more invested into you. So very much so tip number one. Tip number two is simply get certified. If you don't have any experience in sales or anything like that, find a certification out there that you can get. Now, you do have HubSpot, Salesforce even offers their own training. Me personally, I wanted to get into tech sales, so I went ahead and took the Course Careers course. Again, it's in the link down below in the description. But this was a very good course for me because it showed me everything that I needed to know about tech sales, and specifically like the sales basics, prospecting, customer relationship management, the sales engagement, cold call, cold emailing, discovery qualifications, every skill that I needed to know in order to be successful in my job. But not only that, it taught me how to actually properly apply for jobs. So not doing that pray and spray method, and actually coming up with a list of companies that you would want to work for and apply to those companies and reach out to them. So very good graduate portal that they have. Not only that, they'll generate your professional website for you, which I showed in one of my other videos. This is not the video for it. I've already showed it. If you're new to the channel, be sure to check out my link down below. I have the whole playlist to these type of videos on my YouTube channel. But essentially, you want to get certified. And then from there, you want to start properly applying for jobs. But the reason why I say get certified, especially if you have no experience in sales, they're going to want to know that you have you're able to convey that you understand the concept of sales. Like, what's a prospect? What's a lead? What do sales representatives do? What are their job? Like, they just want to know that you're competent and you know what the whole job is like. What's the roles and responsibilities? And then not only that, when you get certified, that just lets the employer know that you are a self-starter. You go out of your way to learn. You're self-motivated. It just shows that you're able to start something and complete it. So, something to think about, guys. And essentially, you want to take action. This is kind of adding on to step two. Take action. If you're not certified, you need to get certified. It doesn't really matter which one, but the best one in my opinion is Course Careers. So if you're somebody that's watching this video and you have no experience and you're like, well, I don't really want to get certified, then just stay up to date, read blogs, read articles, know the different softwares, guys. But essentially, you want to take action. And I have this Tony Robbins quote. I really like him, but he says, massive action is the cure, is the cure. Okay? Massive action and effectively executing. So make sure that you're taking massive action. Make sure after this video, you sign up for the free course, see what it's about, and just write down and figure out if this is something that you want to do, because this can essentially change your life. Number three is you want to tailor your career development. So what does this mean? For example, before I got my tech job, I was working as a pizza maker at Old Chicago. I was getting people's orders right. It was a process. I had to make sure I was fast. I had to communicate with the servers. I had to read off tickets. I had to make sure everything was prepped. And so I was able to tailor that into getting a tech job. You have to be able to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure you may, if you're somebody that's watching this, you may have a job where you're interacting with people. That's a form of customer service. That's a form of helping a customer, an already paying customer. So just something to think about. You also want to build your skill set over time. You're going to be able to acquire more skills, more transferable skills, but you always want to be building your career and moving forward and gaining more skills and more knowledge. Number 4, you want to apply and connect with hiring managers. Now, guys, this is where LinkedIn comes into play. So if you're somebody that's watching this video and you're thinking about moving to a different state, working for a remote job, moving to a different state, or you're just ready to make a change, you need to be on LinkedIn. I made several videos talking about LinkedIn, how to optimize your LinkedIn, but essentially you want to make sure that you have a LinkedIn, you have a professional headshot photo, which is simply having somebody take a picture of you on your smartphone with a blazer on, button up shirt, looking put together. From there, you can go on Canva and edit it, make it look pretty good, and put that as your profile picture. You also want to make sure you have at least 500 connections on LinkedIn, because that's going to help you start building up your network on LinkedIn, giving you more connections and making your page show up more on recruiters' radar. You also want to make sure that your bio is filled out and is optimized to the type of sales position that you want. And then you want to make sure that you're putting your skill sets, all the skill sets that you have, make sure that you put that on your LinkedIn as well. Make sure that you're putting your experience that you had and really filling it out, putting the company, how long you worked there, what you did there. Use actual numbers when you're explaining things. Like, for example, I believe on my LinkedIn, I was able to maintain 95% retention rate. As a result, I was able to have repeating customers come back in. So that just lets them know, okay, she was able to keep people in the door, keep people coming back, keep the business running. That's an example. So from there, you want to make sure that you're putting any type of education that you're getting or any kind of education that you've got, and then make sure that you have any certifications. So, and then you also want to put open to work. Like I said, I've already made a video over this. Be sure to check that out. I will leave a link in the description down below. But essentially, you want to apply for the job. Make sure that you have a really good cover letter that pretty much says, hey, I saw you have the open role. This is why I would be a good fit. This is how I can help your business. It's all about you selling yourself, right? And then from there, after you apply, you want to already have your 3 to 4 contact people that you want to message from the company. Now, these are people like the hiring manager. If you want to be in sales, the VP of sales, the director of sales, the head of sales, just people on those higher levels, which takes you to have an understanding of the organizational structure. But you want to reach out to them and pretty much say, hey, I saw this position was open. I'm interested in working for this company. This is the reason XYZ. These are the skill sets that I have, and I feel like my skill sets will align with your company's mission, so on and so forth. Most importantly, you want to ask for the call at the end. You have to do the job to get the job. So you should sign off by saying, hey, when can we set up a meeting? I would like to just know more about the company, so on and so forth. Essentially, you want to follow a sales, kind of like a interview email sequence, which again, Course Careers teaches you how to do all of this. If you have not already, be sure to click the link down below and get signed up for the free course. But they teach you how to do all this, so on and so forth. But you want to make sure you're reaching out to the hiring manager, because this is you standing out in a loud crowd. The pandemic honestly changed everything, guys. The pandemic opened it up for recruiters to get talent from all over the world. And so, especially if you're somebody that does not have any experience, it's easy for your application, it's easy for your resume to get just, buried, not really looked at because you don't have that experience. However, if you are putting yourself in front of their face, you show up in their inbox, you're calling. I know some people that even call, then that speaks a lot. That's how you're standing out. So definitely something to think about. That's definitely a really, really good tip. Make sure that you're not just going on LinkedIn trying to just easy apply, mass apply, because honestly, it does not work anymore. Coming from somebody that, man, I tell you, I applied for like over 500 jobs at one point. Did not get that many callbacks. As soon as I took Course Careers and I followed their method of applying for jobs, really being clear on the companies that I wanted to work for, and taking the time to set up my LinkedIn, taking the time to graduate from the course, get my website portfolio, right? Get my resume up to par, get my cover letter up to par, and actually started taking action and doing what they said to do on that training, I was able to see really, really good results. I applied for 36 jobs and I was able to get 7 interviews with each, like 7 interviews from different companies. It's crazy. So, and then also, if you've gotten this far in the video, be sure to like. It really, really says a lot. It says that you're serious, but be sure to like, comment, let me know your thoughts. Okay, number 5, similar to, I believe it was number 3, but you want to leverage your background. Be yourself on these interviews. Know what you need to say, but also remember your background and how you can benefit the company. So, for example, I know some guys that worked in finance for a long, long time, and they wanted a job, like a sales job, and so they ended up only applying for fintech, and then they would get a lot of these job offers from fintech companies because their background aligned with with the industry. Like if you're somebody that's watching this and you're a nurse, right? And you want to move into sales for whatever reason, you have your own reasons why, but it would be a good idea to do medical sales because you already have that background in nursing, health, industry. And so you would be more likely to thrive in a medical sales position. So, like for me, for example, whenever I graduated, college, I had a tech job. It was a data analytics job. Wanted to move into sales. Good move for me was to do tech sales because I'm already into tech. Something to think about. All right. So when you get certified, you get educated, you know how to go out there and apply for jobs, things like that, you will start getting interviews. So this is your time to actually sell yourself and know what you have to offer. So a lot of people get the game messed up when they start going to interviews and they feel as though, oh, I got an interview with the company, they must want to hire me, and they don't really sell themselves. You got to remember, you're not the only person that applied for that job. You're not the only person that they're interviewing. They're interviewing a pool of people. Especially if you don't have any experience, you have to get good at selling yourself. You are the product. You got to come prepared. You got to be able to make a good first impression. You got to come knowing your stuff, even though you don't have experience. That's why I always say it's important to get certified, because that's just going to speed up the process. That's gonna let the employer know, oh my God, Miss Susan is she's really passionate about this. She even went out of her way to get certified, and she's teaching me stuff about sales that I didn't even know, you know? So, and then not only that, you need to remember that the interview is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. So come over prepared, come knowing your stuff. I already made videos talking about how to answer questions in the interviews. I will leave a link to that video down below. But essentially, you want to make sure that you come prepared and that you have questions to ask them. I've had so many recruiters, even whenever I was like selling, or not selling, but even whenever I was recruiting, it wasn't a good it wasn't a good sign after the interview when I asked, "Hey, do you have any questions for me?" And they say no. Make sure that you have questions. I also came out with another video providing you with, I believe, 9 questions to ask the hiring manager or just the sales manager that will leave a good impression. So remember that you are the product. You need to sell yourself. You need to really make a good first impression. All right, so this is really more so speaking for after the interview. You want to have always close the interview. Now, me personally, I'm bolder. So after every interview that I had, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, I would always make sure to ask, hey, is there anything that I can acknowledge in this interview that would keep me from not moving to the next phase, not moving to the next round? And that question alone, I'll be able to gauge if I am going to the next round or not. What was a good green flag for me is if they say, oh no, I don't have anything that I'm concerned about. I was going to ask you, when are you available for another interview? Or, no, I don't have any questions. I really enjoyed how you interviewed. I would just like to know when you're like, what I'm trying to say is they always finished it off with, when are you free for an interview? When do you want to move? Like, I want to move you on. I'm going to go ahead and move you on. Right? So it's kind of, because a lot of interviewees are not asking this question. So when they get somebody that asks them that question, it kind of is like, whoa, they don't really, it, but red flag is when they're like, oh no, I don't have any questions. I'm gonna talk with the team and we about all the applicants and see who we're gonna move to the next round. That's normally a red flag. But if you not bold, or you just don't have the confidence yet to ask at the end of each round, then you can simply send up a follow-up email about the interview. And this is something that I would say, I'm not going to read it, but it's just any updates. Just wanted to see if where we're at, so on and so forth. So I want to thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Again, if you're serious and you actually want to start a remote sales job and you have no experience, I would highly recommend you click the link down below and get signed up for the free tech sales course. It teaches you everything that you need to know about how to get an entry remote job in tech sales. They have different types of courses that you can take. Ultimately, it will help you get started. And with that being said, peace.